So that looks like a pretty fresh rub. I'll tell you how you can tell, because you can see the wood shavings at the base of the tree. So that's the first one I've seen this year. It's 23rd of September. So another week the bucks are going to start coming out of velvet. That's a good sign for me. I'm gonna have a look around and see if I find any more. Okay, back at the stand location here. It's a week before opening day. I'm just coming in to collect all my camera cards and collect some information before the season opens. I might come back in tomorrow to put these cards back up, and I'll leave them in. I won't check them then until I come back in to hunt. Try not to disturb an area too much. I only come in probably once a week to check the cards. I was here last week. I was making sure all my lanes were cleared, that I didn't have to do any more cutting or anything like that. And everything seems in good order. I did find one tree that was rubbed today. I haven't seen anything. I see a lot of old rubs here, but I haven't seen any new rubs. Just some old ones. I'm also going to check my wind direction here. See what we got. These things work really well. Get a little bit of a shake. Puts a puff up, you can see which way. You can use it in the tree stand too. That's good because the wind is going directly this way. So it's going from my stand, it would be going north of where I'm at right now, which is good because where my tree stand is, it's on the side of a hill. Well, this particular one. It's on the side of a hill, and the scent has a tendency to stay up. Although you have to watch it in the mornings and evenings when the ground is heating up with the sun during the day. Thermals are going to rise, so the scent will come up the hill. And then when it's cooling down in the morning, the scent will actually go down the hill. So it can change from morning to evening hunts, but it's always important to pay attention to your wind direction. And especially when you're going to approach the stand, don't approach the stand. If your wind is in a direction, the wind is going to take the scent to where you think the deer are. That's a mistake. That's the costly mistake. All right, let's get one more card, then we're going to get out of here and be on our way. Yeah, you see the broken corn stalks here? That's a dead giveaway that the deer have been in here. Sometimes coons will pull them over too to get the cobs, but a lot of times the deer just break them off walking through them. Wow, what a difference a few weeks makes. See how dry the soybean is here now? Even we've had a tremendous amount of rain this year. I mean, the ground here is saturated. It's soaked so bad. We've had a lot of flooding. It's just one storm after another, and every time it rains, it's torrential rain. Then we had that big hurricane that came up the coast that hit the Carolinas really bad. That was pushing a ton of rain in front of it as well. That's just past us now, but I'm really surprised at how yellow the soybean is, considering all the rain we've had. It's really starting to dry. You can see parts of it are drier than this, but the leaves will start to wilt on it, and then all you'll see is the stems with the pods on it like this. So they'll all hang down, then they just come in and mow it. A lot of times actually the deer won't eat it when it's really dry like that because the soybean itself gets really hard. They prefer it when it's green. It's much softer, it's much more palatable for them. They'll eat it. I mean, they'll still eat it like this if they have to, but they much prefer it when it's soft. he'll probably mow these soybeans pretty soon. A little bit more, I'd say they're going to dry out. I guess the drier they are, the more money per pound they get for them. Same with the corn for feed, not for human consumption. The drier it is, the more dollar per pound they get for the corn. So, all right, checked all my stands, got all my photo cards. This week we'll be shooting my crossbow some more. Make sure everything is all right with that. Shoot my compound, make sure everything is okay with that. Archery season starts next week. So hopefully we'll see something. Even if we don't, that's good to get out. Sarge, are you ready to go home? Are you ready to go? Somebody loves being out in the woods. Right? Okay, come on, let's go. Ground blind here. And as you can see, I've cleaned a big square on the floor of the woods here where the blind is going to sit. So there's no twigs, there's no branches. I can move around in here, not make any noise. It's just nice and clear. Now what I'm going to do is I have a rub line going this way. Actually, on the other side of this, I have a tree stand set up over here. See my blind sitting right there. So what I'll do is I'll top some of these little trees here. I have a rub over here. I have 2 more rubs out here. So the bucks are using this corridor. It's real thick, as you can see. It's real thick cover. Right on the other side of this little berm in the cornfields, and then my food plot. I have 1 food plot there, 1 food plot there. So they start drifting through here, going to and from the food plots, or using the edge of the corn here. I can see them. The deer a lot of times funnel in through here, or they travel here. From the opening here, they'll come down this way. Actually, I have one of my trail cameras over here. There's a drain here. On the other side of that, there's another drain there. There's natural springs in here. You can see the path the water has worn in here. All right, let's get this blind set up. Inside the ground blind. Now, as you can see, I'm going to have to do some trimming. A little mesh down there. You see, this has like a mosquito netting. It's camouflage. So we're going to trim down some bushes there so we have a shooting line out this way. I have other windows here at the side. What? You never seen a ground blind before? See, I have shooting windows on the side. Oh, what? Are you coming in? Look at that mug. Come on. You can come on in. Come on. There you go. Good boy. See? This is a hideout. So now I have a view out this way. View out this way. Here's the doorway at the back. You can see where the dog came in. So my food plot is right there. So I have another shooting window here if I had to have it. Now, secret with a ground blind is not to have windows open on both sides, because if I have a window open here and then I have a back window open here, the deer can see right through from one side to the other. So when I'm sitting in front of the window, I'm going to be silhouetted, and they will pick you out, and if you move in it, they're going to see you, and they'll bust you. And that's a no-no. As you can see, if I go outside, now I see this is what it looks like from the outside. This is the window up, so it's camouflaged, and then the mesh on the outside. But then here, you can see this window is open, but it still has the camouflage mesh in front of it. Now, of course, a rifle, you can shoot right through that mesh. A fixed blade broadhead, you can shoot right through it. I would probably not shoot an expandable broadhead through it, just in case that it you know, opened the broadhead on you before it took off. See, I've got other windows here in the side too. The mesh velcros down, it does come down, but we're not going to mess with that. Now, if I back up here a little bit, now you see what I'm talking about. You can see right through that blind. So if I had the window open on the other side, you're going to see movement through that window and you're going to be busted. You don't want to do that. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut some of this brush in front of it, but I'm going to use that to brush around the blind to try and blend it in a little bit. Turkeys, they will ignore a blind completely, even if you put it up the day before. This blind I'm putting up a week before archery season, but I don't intend to hunt it like early archery season. It's going to be here for a few weeks before I'm going to hunt it, because deer are suspicious of everything. They know everything that's in this area. So if you put up a blind like this, the best thing to do is put it up a couple of weeks in advance, leave it and let it sit, brush it in and make sure it's covered up, so that the deer get used to it and they're not afraid of it. Because they'll see it, or they'll smell something on it and they'll be super suspicious of it. Once they get used to it, they'll walk past it and they won't even bother with it. You know, you'll have them coming right past it. But yeah, you see what I'm talking about now with that window, the way it's open. What you want to do is, when you're hunting from a ground blind, is to wear dark clothes inside it. You don't have to necessarily wear camo. Here, I know in the gun season you have to wear blaze orange anyway inside the blind, and you also have to display blaze orange from the blind, or within 15 feet of it you have to have 100 square inches of orange. So it's not necessary for bow season, but for any gun season it is, or for small game season it is. But yeah, we're gonna get this brushed in here. We're gonna leave it there. Okay, that's getting there. You can see where I brushed in around here. A couple of pieces on the top to break up the hard outline of it. That's what we want. I know guys too who'll actually use camouflage netting, and they'll sway the netting like ghillie netting. You can use regular camo netting too to break up the outline of the blind. It just takes that hard edge off of it. That's why I tried to set it in the trees there. You hide it up, make sure it's, you know, it stays hidden. Like I said though, the biggest key is not to have the windows open, both sides. As you can see right through there. So if I moved inside the blind there, that's a dead giveaway. That deer will pick up that movement, and turkeys too, they'll pick that movement up immediately. But I'm going to use this as a backup for days when it's raining really bad. About 3 weeks ago here, I gave it 2 or 3 coats of silicone spray, the ATSCO silicone spray, to make it, like, you know, pretty waterproof, so the water runs off, it doesn't stay on it. Snow will wreck this. If I get heavy snow, it'll lay on it and it'll collapse it. It's just a pull-up. You see in the video earlier on of me, you know, putting it up. It's a pop-up. I have it anchored down. I have guide ropes on the side here, one on the other side, one on the back side, and then I also have it pinned to the ground. That way it won't lift. Also, if you're inside it and you touch off of it, it's not going to move. If it moves and the whole thing moves, you're going to get busted. Especially if you're moving your bow or something inside and, you know, you hit the roof or you hit the wall. That's a dead giveaway. You got to be kind of careful in there. But and check your local regulations for blinds. Blinds are legal in some states, not legal in other states. I know here for turkey hunting, you can't have you have to have, you know, a natural material blind. I don't think you can use a blind like this. For deer hunting, you can use a blind like this, but again, it has to be marked with the orange. I don't have the orange on it now because it's not gun season, but you know, I'll probably put the tag on the tree to make sure it's legal. As long as it's visible 360 degrees. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. The only people that hunt here are me and the landowner, but it's better safe than to be sorry. You know, you don't know who's sneaking on the freaking property. But you see here, there's the windows on the outside here. There's another one on the side here, and more on this side. So I cleared some shooting lanes, and let's go inside and have a look. Now I have a shot straight out this way. I've got some clear shots right out this way. See the way I topped the trees there, so I can shoot right over the top of it, but didn't remove the cover, so it still breaks up my outline. But actually you can see right there, those trees are rubbed there. There's another tree that's rubbed down here. So yeah, that gives you an idea. You see, you can also just pull back the cover to look out the window and see if something is coming. And then just put it back up. One thing I don't like about this blind, it's a bone collector, a mirror step, is that the net itself, which is noisy, and I don't like that. I'd rather the hook and loop, but now you see I have a clear view outside. No net. The inside of the blind you can see is jet black. Squirrels. Okay, come on. You see my point. Now that I have the window in the back, actually the door in the back of the blind shut, even with the mesh down, all you see is jet black. So if you're wearing dark clothing in there, and especially on your face and your hands, either camo or black clothing, like a ninja, you'll stay covered in that dark interior, and the deer won't be able to bust your silhouette. You see, even if I move around here, you can see there's no seeing through that blind now. Because all I have is the side window open that are facing the front. So if I'm a deer and I'm coming from this way, you're not going to see. All right, we're pretty much done with our ground blind setup. I've also sprayed the blind with Hunter Specialty Scent Killer, scent remover. I also had it set out that it dried. Don't set a ground blind up. If you, especially sprayed it with waterproofer, do not bring it into your hunting area. You know, make sure the scent is gone off of it first. Leave it set up and let it dry, and then spray the whole thing with the scent odor killer. It is on the ground. It's not like hunting in a tree stand. That scent, now the prevailing wind is going this way. That's why I set it up on this side, because I'm expecting the deer to come from this side. But they will travel along the corn and they'll come in from behind me. But obviously if they get to that blind, it's too late. I would have to try and get a shot at one before it gets to that blind. Otherwise I'm busted. The prevailing wind comes this way into my face, and I want the deer coming this direction. So obviously that can all go right down the toilet. You know, anything can happen. You can prepare as best you can, and you know, do your homework, and still doesn't go right. But we'll see what we'll see. What I might do is, after opening day, I might set a trail camera right up in front of that blind and see if anything is passing by it, or if the deer are ignoring it or not. That'll be easy to tell. But I hope you found some of the tips useful. I hope you find them helpful and apply them to your particular hunting situations. Like I said, be safe. Be mindful of safety, especially if you're hunting with guns and you're living in populated areas. You know, be real careful which direction you're shooting, watching your shots. I wouldn't really gun hunt from this blind. Only that I'm facing into a hill. On the other side, I'm also facing into a bit of a hill. So I'm actually in a hollow here. That's why I had to be careful where I placed it, because this does flood in here. So I don't want to come in and it be underwater and sitting in 5 inches of water. But I'm gonna get my chair, put the chair in there. I'll put the screen back up. I'll leave the window open so it gets some air circulation in it, and we'll go from there and see what happens. You got mud on your nose. Were you digging in the dirt? Dog. You're funny, Sarge. You know it? You're funny. All right. Oh, look at this right here. You can see here. That's an old scar from a rub. That was a couple of seasons ago, and then the tree grew up around it. You see, here's a fresh, small little rub right there. So they're definitely using this. Actually, there's another one on the other side here. See it right there? So deer have been using this area for a long time. And that's always good areas to hunt, because they'll use the same areas from year to year. But be safe in hunting season, And you know, wear your stand. You know, if you're hunting up in your stance, make sure you wear your harnesses. To see hunting accidents every year, it's like, it's just not worth it. It takes a couple of minutes to put on a harness. I know they're a pain in the ass, but better than falling out of a tree from 25 feet. Just take the time to do it and be safe. All right, everybody, good luck for the hunting season. Until next time.